Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We are continuing our playthrough of All Quiet in the Trenches, where we have just turned up back for the first camp phase. So now we're going to get to see many of the changes. So, we read this story at the end of the last episode, but let's read it again. The explosions, gunshots, and screams still echoed in my ears. We'd only been fighting for a few minutes, and yet it felt as if years had passed since this morning. And the everyday life back home, a lifetime away. To be in the camp now, safely behind the front, was surreal. The light-hearted chirping of the birds almost drowned out the dull rumble of the front, and the cries of pain from the field hospital where we had taken Cummerbund. My people lay down exhausted on the grass, surrounded by the boxes of ammunition and equipment we had saved. Dirty and bloodied, some still pale and trembling. But soon the angry voice of the lieutenant in the distance abruptly broke the supposed peace, even before we could see him coming towards us amidst the tents. Now, so basically, I failed this ludicrous performance here under Officer. You and your people can't even manage the simplest tasks. Apparently, with this bunch of slobs, you have to be happy if anyone shows even a modicum of competency. Yes, Herr Lieutenant. We will get you that medal, Herr Cuddly Bear. There we are. Wow, Smith Bow looks happy. So here we have started back. Yeah, we have. So they've added, I believe, like a dirty uniform adjustment thing. So I mean, actually, these guys, you know, they're all kind of dirty, and I don't know if that's supposed to be a circular sweat pats on the chests. Cummerbund is in the field hospital. So there you go. All of our battle modifiers have been removed. Bad mood has been removed. That's good. We no longer have enemies on the flank. Yeah, the battle ended pretty roughly. It's Flackner. I think it mildly bugged out at the end, so my guys got stuck in position for 3 turns, being shot at by every enemy on the whole battlefield. But we managed to run away in the end, so it all worked out. Also, due to unfortunate RNG, we did not get enough equipment. We tried 5 caches. I think one of them had equipment. That didn't go too well either. So no, my guys need a wash. That's apparent. Right, so field hospital. Yep, Zelensky. You don't have any food yet. Responsible for supply the troops. Allocate supplies immediately to last until your next supply shipment. Cool. So we now have food. Got a delivery. What size rations? Yeah, we'll leave it on regular for now. Someone wants to talk to me. Come on to Officer. I'm Nurse Elizabeth Ritter. I organize our small field hospital here. Don't worry, Cummerbund is doing pretty well. He will soon recover from his wounds. I'm so glad that you are overwhelmed so quickly. Short of a skirmish, you are dead. Wounded. Good. Agree. Have a lovely day. Current workload. A lot to use, but we're used to that. Yes, Cummerbund has, as you can see here, wound recovery improves, and it is very, very relaxing. Here he is. How you doing, son? Pain. If that keeps up, I'll soon be tearing off my own limb. You can stay there. You don't have to return to duty. Get these 2 sorted. Let's get him out of pain. Let's get his shrapnel wound in his leg healed. And so with the other 3 setting up camp, which I think will be a fail. I think you need 4 people to set up camp in 1 round. Move on to the next turn. I'd been watching young Flackner with concern since his arrival in our troop. He does work reliably, quickly, and very conscientiously, but he hardly exchanged a word with his comrades. Deep circles under his eyes spoke of sleepless nights. Even the slightest noise made him jump in fright. When he once again sat apart from the group, flipped over his sketchbook with trembling hands, I sat down next to him. You are very skilled at drawing, I remarked as I looked at his sketchbook. Precise strokes, he had captured his surroundings, trees in the camp, limbers, the horses, his comrades. There was no trace of his apparent insecurity in these drawings. Thank you, Herr Unteroffizier. It helps me take my mind off things. He sighed. I've been through all this before. Right at the start of the war, I enlisted. Medical service. It took less than 3 months before I was sent home with a broken leg. I thought I had fulfilled my duty to my country. They drafted me again. Camaraderie will help you get through this. I attempted to offer him a different perspective on his situation. I hadn't thought of it that way, he replied. That's probably very true. Pensively, he put away his sketchbook and took his leave with the words, "Thank you, Herr Unteroffizier. I'll go and join my comrades now." I saw him sitting there for quite a while. He seemed to have taken my words to heart. Yep, we got Pedersen. I said at the end of the last episode, so the RNG on this run-through has been terrible. So we're going to get Lots and Pedersen. Lots I do not like. Pedersen I don't mind too much, but he does have a few problems. There are many soldiers I like a lot more than Pedersen. But I called it here. Critical blood loss. Oh, great. He's now only somewhat distant. That should help. It is sunny. Weather. He now feels like he belongs. Good mood has been added. Changed down to tired. Fleckner is nauseous. Okay. Have set up the field hospital. Pedersen is now tired. Strength is fading. His eyes are glazing over. So, I mean, his wound recovery is still better. Yes, we are getting complications, it seems. Alright, so I might be able to admit ailing soldiers, so I can stick Fleckner in there. See what we've got going on. These villagers are suspect. They're keeping story of frank tourists and our comrades along the front. Organize some patrols for the village. Alright, we can do that. Not a huge task. In a couple of days, right. So I shouldn't have to worry about rations quite this early. Are you the officer of the people here? I'm supposed to report to you. I'm the new guy. My name's Pedersen. You are the new guy. So, Pedersen. Don't want to annoy the village this early, so an extremely prominent person is not probably a good choice. But who I have left, it's near enough. I've got. Going to admit an ailing soldier. We have some free time for Navner, so you can send 1 or 2 more soldiers to be admitted. So Fleckner, gonna see if we can't cure his nausea. Oh, Worson's hospital occupancy. Nurse Elizabeth will disapprove. Interesting. Everybody's dirty. Like, why is... are you the house whose people pitch their tents right there at the camp entrance? I am. I am indeed. Everybody's dirty. I hope there is some points, you know, you can like take showers and delouse and... Oh, he's a little bit better now. As is male. Male looks a little bit cleaner as well. I just hope it's a variance because I don't want them to just look dirty constantly. Because I understand it is the front, but people kept their uniforms and stuff clean. Especially at the earlier stages. You know, as we get later on, it might become a bit more difficult. As well, I mean, look at Smith-Bauer's face. It looks like he's got a mustache going down to his chin and like they just... Oh. I like it in terms of realism. I don't know if I actually like the look of it. I like my soldiers to look clean and well presented. Mayo, one of my men, had made no secret of his previous work as a master brewer since he joined our troop. He often seemed to be thinking about his family and their brewery at home. He told everyone, whether they wanted to hear it or not, about his plans after the war. It seemed to be my turn today, and he'd been chattering away for a while now. I let him talk. Probably helped him and took his mind off things. No harms in holding on to the hope that he would soon be able to return to his normal life. I thought to myself, When some of his comrades joined the conversation, I took my leave and returned to my own task. When I faced Soldier Smitbauer alone for the first time, he stood expecting me in front of me, impeccably adjusted. Your orders, Herr Unteroffizier. You can count on me. Spoke clearly and devoid of humor. I liked his obvious meticulousness, as well as the respect he showed me. Very well, soldier, I said in an authoritative tone. Do not disappoint me. I won't, he said, and suddenly became a little more confidential. You and I have to keep the group in line. I just left it at that. All right, I said in a non-committal tone. Let's hope for the best. Fitzbauer didn't seem to be able to do much with this vague statement, but he nodded and then formally excused him. Yep, 3 stories, one thing. Casper Pedersen caught my eye at dinner. He was stirring listlessly in the stew and kept peering into the others' bowls. After dinner, he complained to Zelinsky that there was not to have been enough meat in his portion. Pedersen, leave the man alone. You think you're doing? I reprimanded him. Zelinsky looked uncertainly back and forth between the two of us. Pedersen turned to me without haste. Meat is important, simply said. That kind of thing you talk to me in future. Not to Zelinsky, I admonished. Zelinsky nodded eagerly. He was visibly uncomfortable. Well then, I want more meat, Pedersen now prompted me. It took him a few moments to add, Herr Unteroffizier. I won't make an exception for you. I explained to him, as a German soldier, you have to make do with what you get. But I am from Schleswig. We are Danes, retorted Pedersen. That would change this. Guess they have more meat, I laughed. Corner Pedersen's mouth twitched, but he didn't seem to know how to deal with my humor. Yes, he finally answered curtly, and retreated dissatisfied with his still empty. I will not. And lots. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, I predicted this last episode. We have gotten the exact people. Who I told us we would get. Lots has arrived. Mail. Pub in the village. Pedersen and I would like to visit with your permission. Oh yeah, and there's a little conspiratorial talk thing going on here. There's Lots. Here's. I'm Lots, the new guy. How do you handle all that military etiquette stuff? Personally, I find it all a bit ridiculous. Let's pair you with Mitbauer. He'll put you in line. You can discharge from the field hospital and officer. I'm ready for duty again. Right, so he's no longer nauseous. That's good. On the other hand, Cumberbund now has a collapsed circulatory system. He is in extremely poor physical condition. What have we got? That's... he's no longer tired, mind you. Mail has gone down strained. Of course, our rations are going down. Do you have someone to spare to watch over Cumberbund at the field hospital? It's mostly about everyday things to keep him company, take care of small errands, ensure the patient enough. But also have somebody around to alert us if his condition suddenly deteriorates. Would also spare us a fair bit of effort. Interesting. It will spare them a fair bit of effort, her words, yet it doesn't ingratiate myself, Nurse Elizabeth. I thought it would, potentially given the circumstances. Where is he? Where is he? Oh wow, he's in such bad condition he's disappeared. Gone. Oh wow, that's... I believe that's actually a body in the background. Either that or we're just missing the top half of the model on the bed. Surely being trained in first aid helps. It does not. He is somewhat compassionate, very sociable. Somewhat. Come to that in a minute. We'll see what else is going on for the day. Strained added. Oh yes, he's just turned up. Neutral. Strained. Good weather added. Disappointed and upset, though supply stock still haven't been resupplied. I've got another turn before I start panicking. Major's planning an attack. Prepare your men for battle. That's not good. Continue this task with guard duty. Appoint 2 men. Right. So I assume Lots wasn't very good. Spitbow, sorry, was extremely rude whilst patrolling our peaceful village. Threatened some of the townspeople. I will try not to send him again. I apologize. He is very upset with me. Please don't give them additional reasons. I'm going to send my men on a trip to the hub. Right, so Smithbow, you've earned yourself guard duty. Pedersen, you have also earned yourself. Although, we'll get rid of his negative traits. Well, tough luck. And Spitbow, yes, you have earned yourself guard duty. Keep Cummerbund company. Lots gonna go for? Again, because you'd think first aid training would help, but apparently it doesn't. Unless it's just not been added. A trip to the pub. It is very relaxing. Fleckner and Mail can both go to the pub. Fleckner being very tolerant, who knows? Maybe he'll even be able to offset the negative effects. Oh, we still have something going on. The supply is running low. You are correct. Right, give it one more turn and then we panic. Go to an engagement in 3. When I saw the soldier Alfred Lotz at camp, he was inspecting his assigned rifle with great interest. Almost as if he was memorizing the design. Made a good-natured joke. Seen a rifle before. Where was it you went to basic training? In Gunlersburg, he quipped back immediately. Well then, go ahead and familiar yourself with your weapon. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. I was about to move on when he said, do you also think that the war will be over soon? I faltered. I don't think he's religious. Are you in a hurry? Lotz shrugged. I was actually planning something else when the war broke out. Then he added quickly, besides, I have 4 children. I want to go back to them, of course. That seemed more of a distraction. You think it will be much longer before I can do that? It won't be over quite so soon. I openly shared my apprehension. Lotz looked surprised and discouraged for a moment, but then nodded. I see. Thank you for your candor. With a heavy sigh, he added, even though I hope you are wrong. These words, he turned back to his rifle, and the conversation ended. We were preparing for the imminent operation a few days from now. The mood was tense enough, but it seemed to be particularly hard on Fleckner. When he had heard of our upcoming deployment, he turned pale and the fear had not left his eyes. Is everything all right? I asked him carefully. Perhaps there was some way to help him handle the situation. He looked up, made an attempt, pulled up his card, made an attempt at concealing his emotions before finally sighing deeply and opening up a little. To be honest, no, Herr Underoffizier. Thought of going to battle and possibly never returning. Gulped and lowered his gaze. I nodded. The soldier knew. Fear. So he is unpatriotic, I believe. Yep, somewhat unpatriotic. He is compassionate, very cautious, somewhat distant, but very tolerant. He's not patriotic, so I'm not going to attempt to do his duty as a German soldier. That, I feel, is already out the window. We have to learn to live with this fear. He's very cautious, so I don't know if that's going to work either. I feel like that's maybe the most corresponding stat. I feel like my best option is together. He is somewhat distant, but I don't know, he's leaning into his comrades a bit more. You and I and all our comrades, we just have to watch out for one another. He skeptically glanced over towards the other men, his features hardened. What are they supposed to do against a bullet destined for me? He turned away and returned to his tasks, as if to make abundantly clear that he considered the conversation over. Yep, didn't think I was getting through that one. Well rested added. Two of the guys went down to tired. Fleckner went down to strained. Mail is no longer shaken. He now feels like he belongs. Where, hey, hang on. We'll see all of these at once. Good weather removed. Good weather removed. Weather removed. So, Current no longer has a collapsed circulatory system and it is no longer in pain. That is great. Pump visit removed. Study removed. Down to 1 turn's worth of rations, however. He is also now well rested. That's going to help a lot of things. Fitness will also increase whilst he is in the hospital now. He still has critical blood loss, however, which we need to attempt to improve. And he has shrapnel on his leg wound. I can no longer keep him company, which I feel like would help measurably. The field hospital is empty, and I don't think there's any green stats field occupancy. And wait, I don't want to speak to you. You're going to complain about food rations. Come to you. Have I got more? No. Where is the shipment? Don't have any extra food. I don't have any prestige to get more rations. I have a few prisoners of war at our camp. Please make sure we get supplied as soon as possible. Do I risk it for the chocolate biscuit? It's going to get things very, very tense. RNG is not being my friend on this playthrough. So honestly, I'm terrified of simply leaving it be as it is. Mail and lots. See if we can't get everybody a bit more rested and relaxed. Pray that food comes in, people. Pray that food comes in. As I was passing by the temporary enclosure holding the captured French soldiers, I saw lots fraternizing with the prisoners of war he was meant to guard. Even though he clearly did not speak their language, he managed to communicate successfully through wild gesturing. It seemed I was observing an exchange of chocolate. Tobacco. Quietly tolerated. Moved on without comment. That does cost me a little bit of prestige, but not too much, about 20-25%. Shrapnel wound on the leg removed. He just has severe blood loss. All we have to do is keep pumping him full of a few pints of blood if we have it available, and he will be just fine. Change down to tired. Tired removed. Well rested. No rations. Grateful removed. Severe cough added. Fleckner is a bit of a sickly man. Screen is filled to brim. Resupply came in. Hallelujah. 8 weeks worth of supply. My patrols were scheduled to return yesterday, but there's still no sign of them. Send out your own men. Commandant, 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 where are you hiding? You can't hide from me, I shall find you. Was that him? Felt like that could be it. That looks a little bit like him. Oh no, here he is. He's still in the same place. I feel so dizzy and cold. Alright, come on people, let's pump him full of a few pints of blood. Pedersen is also now well rested. Will help increase his fitness. Fitness doesn't decrease when they're tired. I don't know if it does when they're exhausted. It doesn't when they're tired. Pedersen, you have fun. Deep dry and persistent cough plagues the soldier intermittently. Load isn't critical at first, it nevertheless drains him of his strength and disturbs his sleep. Let's have some free time for now. You. Fleckner again. But like I said, we've got a sickly man here. And he's physically fit. So he's not, you know. It's not like he's Commandant 2.0 where he's, you know, literally barely stand up. So find the missing patrol. Now our attentive man. Is he? Hale and Lots, I feel like they're going to become friends. Sending them out on the same jobs. Let's hit that next turn. What's we now? We got Cameron, but just back in time to go to war. Critical blood loss removed. He's back. He's going with us to the battle. Terrible timing. While arrested, removed. While arrested, added. Critical blood loss removed. Nauseated, added. Changed standard rations for 7 turns. We found the missing patrol. One of them got hurt and the other wasn't able to carry him all this distance. Together we managed to get him to the field hospital. Oh, he's moved. Look, he's now... I've been discharged from the field hospital. I'm ready for duty again. Can we keep you there? Just keep him well rested and hopefully get rid of his extremely poor condition. I feel like he is going to get wounded. He is going to have complications. And things are going to get interesting. I don't see that Fleckner's back either. Although when we go into an engagement, things are often a little bit... give you what you need. Bandages, ammunition, everything else. When you go into an engagement, not all things change, let's just say, completely. Marching into battle. It's the opportunity to prove ourselves. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our first battle on the new system, where there is now a battle end phase, where even after victory, I imagine after defeat, it's... Potentially there's a phase after defeat, because, you know, defeat generally is get back to your own trench. So once you've done that, you know, it's just, I don't know if there's a huge amount for you to do, because the wounded and the dead are generally on the French side of things. But on a victory, there is an after battle stage where we will get to tend to the wounded, grab dog tags, etc. Escort prisoners, I could only assume. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will go into the battle phase, but that is, of course, the end of the episode. And so until next time, as per always, I hope that you stay safe, happy, and healthy.